So these are my Elimination Chamber 2026 predictions. Now going into the first match, which is going to be CM Punk versus Finn Balor. I do want to see if CM Punk versus Finn Balor is gonna start the show or is it going to main event the show? Because the way they have been promoting this show is all about CM Punk and AJ Lee. They are on the posters. They are the head media headliners everywhere. But the thing is, you're deciding the number one contendership for the WWE Championship. So maybe that's what's probably gonna main event. I think CM Punk is gonna defeat Finn Balor, and I think Dominic and JD are going to be involved in the finish. They're gonna try. They're gonna try to make sure that Dominic wins. Finn Balor wins, and somehow maybe Finn doesn't approve of them, and that results in Punk retaining his title. I think pretty simple. We are getting Roman Reigns on Raw. Maybe we get Roman Reigns here. No, he's not going to show up here. But yeah, CM Punk is retaining pretty simple. Becky versus AJ. I think Becky versus AJ happening here rather than directly at WrestleMania. I think it's only here because they want more heat on this match, even though uh, because they AJ is like a part timer, so she doesn't show for like months. But whenever she comes back, like this feud naturally gains its heat back. But I think they want like real heat, real stakes in it, real rivalry, like that meat of the storyline. Because also AJ has defeated Becky two times. Like she tapped her out in the WrestlePalooza tag match, and then she tapped her out in the War Games. So I think they want to give more heat to Becky, have Becky defeat AJ in front of her home crowd or her husband's home crowd, and then that way you can add more storyline in it, more meat into the story, and give Becky something before she eventually loses to AJ Lee at WrestleMania. Maybe Maxine and Natalia also gets added here, because otherwise I don't know what is going to happen with Natalia. Like you don't even have the women's battle royal anymore, so it's not like okay, we can give Natalia that to build her up. I think if you're building Natalia so much, because they are like, she's in the Rumble, she was going toe to toe with people, she knocked out Maxine, she wasn't the one that got pinned in the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. So I maybe Natalia gets added here, maybe Maxine gets added here. You make it like a fatal four way at WrestleMania, but something is gonna happen. So I think yeah, Becky is gonna retain her Intercontinental Championship here, and maybe we'll see AJ being the desperate one rather than Becky, because Becky has been the desperate one in this entire feud, whereas AJ has been manipulative and calm. Now, if Becky defeats AJ, you're gonna have AJ Lee trying to be the desperate one to get a rematch against AJ Lee, and also that maybe against Becky Lynch, because maybe Becky cheats. That also adds anger into Becky Lynch, into AJ Lee's characters as well. Maybe we'll get more layers also. Then the third match, which is the women's elimination chamber match, which has Kiana James versus Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea Ripley versus Alexa Bliss versus Asuka, and versus Raquel Rodriguez. I think now that Rio has lost the tag championships, the only one that makes sense is Rhea Ripley, because otherwise I think everyone had Tiffany, because other than that, Alexa and Charlotte are already involved in their stuff, going after the tag titles, maybe a breakup storyline coming in between them. Kiana James, it is a good opportunity to show herself that what she's made of, like she had in the Rumble. Maybe getting her more reps with the more up and comers, maybe getting her more recognition in front of a crowd. But apart from that, you don't really see her as a WrestleMania match worthy. And yeah, like Asuka is also there because she's there. Like she's a veteran, so she's there, and not WrestleMania worthy right now the way that they have booked her. So only one there was Tiffany. And Rhea, now that she has lost the tag championship, there's a reason why they had her lose the tag championship, because they didn't need to do the rematch between Rio and the Irresistible Forces, because the irresistible forces already lost against Rio once. So it was done so that they can get the titles of them because Bianca is gone and they don't have a plan B. So they were like, plan B, who does the crowd like? Rhea Ripley title match, instant money match you have. And Rhea Ripley versus Jade may not be in the minds of wrestling fans, but when people see that on a card, they see both of their physiques, both sexy, hot, and everyone, and muscly. Like that is going to intrigue many people. So I think it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Jade, and I think EO is probably going to go after Julia, which they have built up for a while. And I also think Jordan and Tiffany, they also don't have anything else to do, and I think the right place for them to go is also after Julia after this. So maybe the Women's United States Championship picture can heat up really for the first time in its whole life. So yeah, that can also happen. And you go to the final match. And I think Rhea and Tiffany will be the final two. Just like in the Rumble, Tiffany and Liv were for the final two there. And maybe Chelsea also gets involved in there. You can get a lot of people involved in the Women's United States Championship scene because the for the title, I think it's going to be Rhea. And also that probably means Rhea and Io are going to be more on SmackDown because both of the titles are on SmackDown. Maybe go to both brands and do stuff. And the final match, to decide the number one contendership for the WWE Undisputed Championship is going to be Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus Javon Evans versus Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and versus Trick Williams. So who's gonna win? I think Cody is gonna win. It's pretty obvious Cody is gonna win. Is Drew McIntyre gonna get involved? The thing is, whoever wins, it's not gonna be a straight up singles match at WrestleMania because, and you could like see that the way that Drew McIntyre has gone after people, like because of him, Randy lost his match against Aleister Black. Because of him, he tried to interfere in the triple threat in Cody and Jacob Fatu, where where eventually Cody won. And here he interfered in Logan versus Jacob, where Logan Paul won. So I think this clearly states that it's either going to be a fatal four-way or a fatal five-way match at WrestleMania for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Like fatal five-way can be Cody, Randy, Drew, Jacob, and Aleister Black, which Aleister Black getting that WrestleMania main event, he did defeat Randy Orton. Maybe like that's gonna be big. Or the most probable option is going to be Cody, Jacob, Randy, and Drew at WrestleMania for the WWE Undisputed Championship. And that makes the logical sense as well, the way Drew has been going after people. I think Cody is going to win. And he's probably going to win by pinning Randy again. But I think however he wins, it's going to be controversial in a way that it sets up other people getting involved and making it a multi-man match at WrestleMania. So yeah, I think Cody is gonna win here. They're not gonna have Cody lose, even though it's kind of telegraphed. It's kind of like you could see who's gonna win. I think it's gonna be more about how do they do this in a creative way that everyone is excited and everyone gets on board for a fatal four-way or a fatal five-way match at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship because they did Bianca, Rhea, and Io, but the way they did it, it was very convoluted and it was like eventually people got on board, but it was due to the sudden title change and that all three of them are amazing wrestlers. But this time you don't really have that support from the WWE universe. Things are not really going good if you look at ticket sales wise, ratings wise. So they have to do something special and they're doing, you could see that they're really trying to get people's interest back. Like Brock and Roman are going to be there for the whole month till WrestleMania. The crate, whoever is inside the crate, is going to get revealed at Elimination Chamber as well. Probably the Mask Man is also going to get revealed at the Chamber or most at 1 or 2 weeks after that. But what they need to do is have consistently good shows, and not only consistently good shows, because SmackDown has been consistently good. You need to have some excitement back, and not excitement in the way that you do shock things for shock value, things which matter, but do it in an exciting way, creative way. So yeah, these are my predictions. What do you think about my predictions? What are your predictions? Tell me in the comment section. If you like this type of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share with those who do. My social media accounts, which are my Twitter/X account and my Instagram account, links are in the description, so go follow me on that. My UPI ID link, which is sharpboy@okicici, is also in the description, so go donate any amount of money which you can, which can help me make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for today. So thank you, goodbye, alvida.